we go into heart to heart, the inspiration and the motivational side of everything that we do. Um, so we are going to be talking about we are going to be talking about uh, जो चीज़ें हम लाइफ के अंदर बचपन से एक्सपीरियंस करते हैं और एक्चुअली दिस इज समथिंग दैट I've been talking about, and we have discovered that uh, trauma is something which continues through generations in your cells. Your cells, it they just carry the trauma with you. Um, Kalpana, say something.
Hello.
So we just wanted to make sure that you guys can hear Kalpana.
Hey there, this is Kalpana. I'm
Welcome.
back. And how are you, Saima, doing?
Doing just great, Kalpana. We missed you. Missed having you here. And as you can see, कि आपकी गैर मौजूदगी में अब एक Instagram के ऊपर भी हम live stream कर रहे हैं.
That's wonderful, wonderful. Actually, but I was also missing. मैंने कहा कि यार चलो अब छुट्टी बहुत हो गई है. Of course, I had a good time in India. बहुत मजा किया.
Awesome.
So that was wonderful. क्योंकि एक तो मैंने I was telling before leaving कि मैं 5 साल के बाद एक तो गई थी. And it was, and India is always like एक homely feeling होता है.
It's your home. It's your birthplace, right?
Absolutely. And then of course, I had blast, and now welcome, and I'm back here again, and with the routine work or back to the reality.
Back to reality, whether you want to or not, Kalpana, you're back.
Exactly, I'm back. तो बताइए, तो आज हम बात करने वाले हैं कि इंसान नॉर्मली जब हम चल कोई भी सक्सेस की ओर बढ़ते हैं साइमा, तो कुछ लोग ऐसे होते हैं जो जाने या अनजाने में इनसिक्योरिटी की वजह से हो या कोई भी वजह से हो, वो लोगों को नीचे खींचने की कोशिश करते हैं. सो ऐसा अगर होता है तो किसकी गलती है, मतलब इज इट द पीपल हु आर ट्राइंग टू पुल यू डाउन, और हमारा परसेप्शन ऐसा है कि दे आर ट्राइंग टू पुल अस डाउन. सो वी जस्ट गोना टॉक अबाउट दैट अ लिटिल बिट टुडे. लेकिन पहले बताइए कि यू आर लुकिंग मार्वेलस, एंड समर काफी तकती धूप झेलनी पड़ी टेक्सास को, और अच्छा हुआ कि कल जो है बारिश के आसार हमें दिखे, विच इज वेरी नाइस हियर इन टेक्सास.
बिल्कुल, बहुत अरसे से people have been praying for this rain, and the rain finally came, and so it was it's the temperature is going to be a bit less. It's dropped in Dallas for this week. अभी भी 90s highs में है, but at least hundreds में नहीं होगा. Yeah. So we will go ahead and we'll get started, and we do have a guest who's going to be coming at 2 o'clock, and we are there's this person. He's a motivational speaker, he's an international speaker. His name is Dr. Joe Dispenza, and he says that don't make your meditations about that person, thing, or event in the past that holds you prisoner. Make it about your future self who is free of their past. Because the thing is कि बचपन से आप जो भी चीज़ें एक्सपीरियंस करते आ रहे हैं, those things create trauma in you. हम समझते हैं कि हमने उनको पीछे छोड़ दिया है और हम मूव ऑन कर रहे हैं, बट समवेयर in our psychology, somewhere in our psyche, somewhere in जो कि बहुत दफ़ा आपको अवेयरनेस भी नहीं होती है, but somewhere within us, those memories are lingering of trauma, of things that you have experienced. And a lot of this comes out agar aap hypnosis ke liye jate hain, and a therapist or a psychiatrist hypnotizes you and sees कि आपके trauma कौन से आपकी चीज़ें हैं जो निकल रही हैं. And this is something I myself experienced with a loved one, when जब उसको hypnotize किया and उसके अंदर उससे बातें हुई और फिर पता चला कि PTSD निकला. किस चीज़ का PTSD निकला, कौन सा वो experience था which became trauma within them. So ये सब चीज़ें, all this trauma, ये सब चीज़ें बहुत दफ़ा मैंने लोगों को देखा है who might go through a divorce. They might be hurt from a friend, and वो literally बैठ के बुरी दुआएं करते हैं उन लोगों के लिए बुरा चाहते हैं जिन्होंने उनको चोट पहुंचाई, जिन्होंने उनको हर्ट किया. सो बेसिकली व्हाट डॉक्टर जो डिस्पेंसर इज सेइंग कि जब आप के दिल में आप वो ग्रजेस होल्ड करते हैं और
Right.
जब आपकी मेमोरीज में आप वो फीलिंग्स को होल्ड करते हैं, those feelings which carry on and which linger on, they go with you for the rest of your life and they become a part of who you are as an individual.
Okay.
So the reason for you to, अगर आप चाहते हैं कि आपकी जिंदगी में कुछ चेंज आए, अगर आपको अपनी जिंदगी की कोई चीज पसंद नहीं आ रही, अगर आप अपनी जिंदगी में कुछ डिफरेंट करना चाह रहे हैं या आप चाहते हैं कि आप you attract something different, then you have to go internalize and you
Okay.
have to go within and you have to work on yourself and your energy and forgiveness, because जब तक आप उस चीज को पीछे नहीं छोड़ेंगे, you will not be able to move forward in life. Because you know what, one of the main reasons that people talk bad about their past, or they, it's because their current life, their present is based on their past. They haven't let the past go.
दैट्स ट्रू. आई थिंक उनकी इनसिक्योरिटीज ही हैं जो आई थिंक उसकी वजह से वो लोग उसको छोड़ नहीं पाते हैं. वो सोचते रहते हैं कि एंड लाइक आई वाज सेइंग कि देयर आर पीपल हु आर जाने अनजाने में, देयर पीपल हु आर माइट बी ट्राइंग टू पुल यू डाउन, और मे बी योर परसेप्शन इज मेकिंग थिंक यू लाइक दैट कि दे आर ट्राइंग टू पुल अस डाउन. और ये जो चीज़ें हैं, ये जो सोच होती है, हम उसमें उलझते जाते हैं, बाहर नहीं निकल पाते. सो आई थिंक दिस इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर अस टू जस्ट क्लियर दैट पैथ और अपने आप को सुलझाएं, और एक एक करके वो स्टेप्स को हमें हटाना पड़ेगा विच इज लिंगरिंग इन आवर माइंड एंड विच इज नॉट लीविंग अस, विच वी आर नॉट रेडी टू लेट गो एट दिस मोमेंट. तो ये बहुत ज़रूरी है, स्पेशली आजकल के ज़माने में. आई थिंक पहले भी होता होगा साहिबा, ऐसा नहीं है, लेकिन ये जो चीज़ें जो स्टडीज़ के थ्रू आगे आ रही हैं, जिसका अवेयरनेस आजकल लोगों में ज़्यादा हो रहा है, लेकिन फिर भी उसे इम्प्लीमेंट करने की बहुत ज़रूरत है. क्योंकि स्टडीज़ एंड नॉलेज बहुत कुछ है, लेकिन काफ़ी कम लोग हैं जो उसे इम्प्लीमेंट कर पाते हैं. उस पर डिसिप्लिन वे से जो दे जस्ट ट्राई टू मेक दिस रूटीन एंड चेंज द लाइफस्टाइल. तो उसकी वजह से जो है उनकी ज़िंदगी में जो मुश्किलें जो आती हैं, तो उन्हें वो भारी नहीं लगता. इट डजंट लुक लाइक अ माउंटेन टू देम. They're able to take it, embrace it properly. So that's very important for everyone to get this awareness in their life. So ये जो PTSD की बात कर रहे हैं, ये जो trauma आता है, चाहे वो divorce हो, ये जो भी बात है, इन चीज़ों से वो इतनी मुश्किलें लगेगी, they are able to tackle them, handle them with a much sense, and they don't feel dissolved in them, but they just can slowly evolve themselves one at a time if they practice these things with an awareness. But very good that that guest is coming on air with us to give us more knowledge on that. और फिलहाल अगर आपके भी कुछ क्वेश्चन है इसके बारे में, तो आप ज़रूर हमें कॉल कर सकते हैं. स्टूडियो का नंबर है
214-817-3333. और ये बात मैं हमेशा बोलती हूँ कि जैसे 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 I've started to change myself and जैसे जैसे I've started working on myself, वैसे वैसे I'm discovering more things which are wrong with me. And the more things that I'm working on, the more I'm finding wrong things with myself. And but and this is something I you know tell the audience, the listeners, over and over again, that the more I'm changing, the more people around me who love me, but they are having such a hard time with me changing, because they feel that if I change and I'm not following the norm and I'm not doing what everyone else is doing, then I'm going to isolate myself. And I feel that as I'm changing, I'm feeling so free and I'm feeling so alive and I'm so at peace with myself. कि I refuse to go back and become a part of that rat race of people who choose to just keep living in the space where they are comfortable. Because the more I am uncomfortable, the more I change, the more I learn, the more I grow, and the more I'm at peace with myself. And people don't understand that.
वेल कोई बात नहीं अगर लोग नहीं समझते हैं, क्योंकि आपने ये जाना है. एक कहावत भी है ना साइमा की, कहते हैं कि कल मैं अज्ञानी थी जो दुनिया को बदलने चली थी,
बिल्कुल।
और आज मैं ज्ञानी हूँ जो अपने आप को बदलने के लिए निकली हूँ। तो अगर दुनिया समझे या ना समझे, उससे शायद इस वक्त इतना फर्क नहीं पड़ता जब हम अपने आप को पूरा फील करते हैं, महसूस करते हैं कि ये खामियां, ये गलतियां मेरे में ही थी। तो मैं क्यों किसी के में, मतलब वाई शुड आई बी जजमेंटल अबाउट कि उसने ये किया, उसने ये नहीं किया, ये करता, ये नहीं करता। आई थिंक when we ourselves are fulfilled with what we do, और ये सारे बैरियर्स नहीं होते ना, तो हमें कोई क्या सोचता है फर्क भी ज्यादा नहीं पड़ता, और
Yeah.
पढ़ना भी नहीं चाहिए।
And वो चीज लोगों के लिए वो चीज डिफिकल्ट है for people to understand when
Understand,
they
yes.
see that you're changing and they are so consumed with fear over your change that they want to pull you back into that space where where you have spent so much life.
Right.
But
It's
then
their insecurities. That's what I was talking in the beginning of the show. There are always people who try to pull you down and put you down and demoralize you and say something कि बहुत
and they
सारे,
might love you.
they will love you still, but there is a blind side of them which they may not realize कि they are doing this, maybe knowing or unknowingly, जो हमेशा आपको कुछ ना कुछ बातें कहेंगे। जैसे आप ऑफिस में भी देख लीजिए साइमा, काफी लोग होते होंगे जो आपको ऊपर, मतलब सक्सेस के लिए कुछ ना कुछ ऐसे बात बोले कि ये वर्क प्लेस अच्छा नहीं है, आप छोड़ दीजिए, क्योंकि वो चाहते हैं कि वो जब चले जाएगा तो शायद मुझे प्रमोशन मिल जाएगा। तो ऐसे लोग काफी मिलेंगे आपको। पर आई थिंक आप जो भी डिसीजन आप लेते हैं जिंदगी में, चाहे कोई भी हो, चाहे वो खुशी के हो, गम के हो, जो भी हो, लेकिन इट शुड बी you should be responsible for that decision that you take. You should not be influenced कि उसने कहा, मतलब देखो उन लोगों का advice
People
लो।
are influenced.
Yes,
I mean, most people are sheep. They
but when you
follow.
practice, Saima, I think this influence धीरे धीरे कम होता जाता है। You can certainly take the advice, listen to them, लेकिन decision आपका खुद का होना चाहिए। और once you make the decision, you should be responsible for that and do not blame the others कि तुम्हारी वजह से मेरे मतलब this ये हुआ वो हुआ। लेकिन आजकल भी ऐसे लोग हैं साइमा, बहुत कम है ऑफ कोर्स, जो इन्फ्लुएंस नहीं होते हैं, सुनते हैं लोगों की बात लेकिन खुद वही करते हैं जो उनको लगता है कि मेरे लिए ठीक है। Yes, there are also people on this earth because world exists on disparity. हर एक तरह के लोग होते हैं। अभी भी वो लोग हैं जो हमेशा लोगों को ब्लेम गेम खेलते रहते हैं कि तुम्हारी वजह से हुआ, तुमने ये किया, मैं वरना मैं ऊपर चले जाता, मैं मतलब मैं कितने सक्सेस की सीढ़ी पहुंच जाता, माउंट एवरेस्ट चढ़ जाता, तुम्हारी वजह से ये नहीं हुआ। तो there are all people who will be cringing and crying about it, and all people who just think that they are self composed and they can move without anybody supporting them.
See, for most people, living in the safety and comfort of a known past is just a lot safer than stepping out into that unknown future. But living in the past also validates all their trauma, the betrayals they've had in their life. Not to mention, it's a great excuse for us not to change, right? Because what most people don't realize is that when we excuse ourselves for certain behavior or something, we give away our power टू दी अदर पर्सन जिसकी बात को हम सुनेंगे। कोई इवेंट अगर पास के अंदर हुआ है और अगर हम उस इवेंट से अपने आप को चेंज करने की कोशिश नहीं करेंगे, तो वी आर गिविंग अवे आवर पावर टू चेंज। सो we all have traumas that we have gone through. We've experienced hardships, traumas, right? But the thing is that it's important for us to move forward, and we can only do that when we are willing to change ourselves.
और इसी के साथ हम सुनते हैं आज का ये पहला गाना इस प्रोग्राम का। और इस बीच अगर आप भी कुछ सवाल करना चाहते हैं, पूछना चाहते हैं, if you have any questions, certainly call the studio number which is 214-817-3333। आप सुन रहे हैं हार्ट टू हार्ट। इतना ज़्यादा सुना नहीं दे रहा, but you are able to hear, right?
I can hear you.
You can hear me.
Yeah. You can't hear yourself?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so we'll do some trial and error after we come back. Yeah. I haven't been playing a lot of songs.
This time? Okay.
Yeah, because I've been getting calls from people and they were like, गाने तो चलते रहते हैं और हम कहीं पे भी सुन लेते हैं.
अच्छा.
We want to
That's
listen.
good. That's good.
So I haven't been playing a whole lot of songs. Maybe I think maybe 3 songs, 4 songs
Yeah,
in an
we
hour.
can minimize. Yeah, we can minimize and do a lot of more talking. And Shabnam is okay with it, right? Then it's fine.
Yeah. So तो ये हो गया है. We are here. We have 10 minutes के अंदर. Okay, she's gonna connect and she's going to be talking about empowerment and also the changes, making change in life. Let's face it, we all have.
ऑलराइट, वेलकम बैक. और जैसे हमने कहा था गाने से पहले कि हमेशा जो है ज़िंदगी में लोग होते हैं जो आपको पीछे खींचने की कोशिश करते हैं, जाने या अनजाने में. एंड लेकिन ये बात है कि इसके लिए काफ़ी प्रैक्टिस चाहिए होता है, क्योंकि एक बात होती है कि पहले तो आप इसका अवेयरनेस, यू नीड टू गेट दैट एंड यू नीड टू गेट द अवेयरनेस फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल कि अगर ऐसा होता है तो खराबी उनमें है या हम में है. और जब आप ये अवेयरनेस आप में आ जाती है तो देन इट्स टाइम टू स्टार्ट प्रैक्टिसिंग वन एट अ टाइम. जस्ट टेक अ बेबी स्टेप, जो हम हमेशा अपने प्रोग्राम में कहते हैं कि टेक द बेबी स्टेप्स. अगर आज आपको शायद मुश्किल लगे ये बात, अगर आप कोई भी आप कोशिश कर रहे हो कि ऐसा होता है तो क्यों होता है, पर धीरे 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 जो है आदी हो जाते हैं हम, इसकी आदत पड़ जाती है. क्योंकि देखो एक बात है कि जो हमारा माइंड होता है वो बिल्कुल भी ट्रॉमा या ट्रेजेडी लेने के इसमें नहीं होता है. उसको खुशी चाहिए होती है, बिकॉज इट्स it is actually the survival, because that's how they try to just survive. अगर खुशी के लिए हम लोग पैदा हुए हैं, लेकिन इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि दूसरों को हम लोग दुख देके खुशी पाएं. कुछ लोग ऐसे भी होते हैं. बट यू नीड टू स्टार्ट इम्प्लीमेंटिंग एंड प्रैक्टिसिंग स्मॉल स्टेप्स एवरी डे. और धीरे धीरे आपको खुद लगेगा कि जैसे हमने कहा था, you will not feel like changing anybody, you just feel like changing yourself, and that is more important than anything else.
So let's face it, right? We have all had traumas, shocks, betrayals in our life, right? हम सब के दिल दुखे हैं अलग अलग वजूहात की वजह से, right? Which have created a strong emotional charge within us. So the stronger the emotional reaction जो हम किसी चीज को या किसी को देते हैं, और फिर हम अगर ध्यान दें कि इसका कॉज क्या था, एंड व्हेन समथिंग लाइक दैट हैपेंस एंड अकर्स इन आवर लाइफ, जो हमारा ब्रेन है वो उस सीन के ऊपर फ्रीज कर जाता है. और वो काइंड ऑफ जैसे हम एक तस्वीर लेके और एक मेमोरी को कैप्चर कर लेते हैं, हमारा ब्रेन उस इमोशनल, उस ट्रॉमा की एक तस्वीर लेके उसको एक फ्रीज करके, एंड इट टेक्स अ स्नैपशॉट ऑफ दैट इवेंट, एंड दैट पिक्चर, वो जो पिक्चर है होलोग्राफिकली, इट गेट्स embossed in our psyche, behind our brains, right? In the neural system जो हमारे अंदर है. So this process जो है, this is how our long-term memory is created. And our problems जो हमारी हैं, they start when we continuously keep thinking about वो जो इवेंट हुआ था या उसके इर्द गिर्द की जो बाउंड्रीज क्रॉस हुई थी, जब हम उन चीज़ों के बारे में सोचते रहते हैं, एंड वी फील विद इन एक केमिकल्स हमारे अंदर के जो हैं वो उस इमोशन को हैंडल करने में, वो the chemicals keep fluctuating around that emotion, and ये हमारी मेमोरीज बनना शुरू हो जाती हैं. और इस तरह बहुत सारी मेमोरीज बनती रहती हैं, राइट? एंड दे बिकम आवर लॉन्ग टर्म मेमोरी. तो जब हम इन इस ट्रॉमा को और ये फीलिंग्स को हम जब अपने साथ कैरी करके ज़िंदगी में चलते हैं, तो सोचो कि इन चीज़ों का कितना बोझ है, ये कितना बैगेज है जो हमारे कंधों पे लादा हुआ है हमने। एक इमेज आता है उस कुली का जो स्टेशन के ऊपर किसी के 4-5 बैग्स लेके और उसकी कमर झुकी हुई होती है और वो चल रहा होता है, राइट? तो इतना बैगेज है हमारे ऊपर कि जब तक हम इस बैगेज को नहीं शेड कर सकेंगे, एंड जब तक वी आर नॉट एबल टू गेट रेड ऑफ ऑल दिस फ्रॉम आवर साइकी, जो कि इंटरनलाइज हुआ हुआ है हमारे अंदर, उस वक्त तक हमारी लाइफ में जो चीज़ों को हम अट्रैक्ट करते हैं, हम बिकॉज आवर थॉट्स बिकम आवर डेस्टिनी। हमारी जो सोचें आती है, कभी आपने कल्पना वो एक्सपीरियंस किया कि आप एकदम से कोई चीज़ सोचती हैं और वो उसी वक्त कबूल हो जाती है, वो उसी वक्त पूरी हो जाती है, राइट? तो इस तरह जो हमारी सोचें हैं, we experience 60 to 70,000 thoughts in one day. तो आप सोचें कि ये कितनी सोचें हैं जो हमारे कुछ कॉन्शियस कुछ अनकॉन्शियस, राइट, जो हमारे ब्रेन के पैरामीटर के अंदर से गुजरती हैं, एंड दे बिकम, some of them stay, some of them leave, but they create us for who we are.
बिल्कुल। और ये सोच कब बनती है साइमा, ये मुझे लगता है कि कोई भी चीज़ जब हम दिल से चाहते हैं और वो कबूल नहीं होती है, हम चाहते हैं कि चीज़ हो जाए और नहीं हो पाती है, तो वो सोच बन के दिमाग में घूमता रहता है कि ये चीज़ कब होगी, ऐसा हो तो हो जाएगा। सो एनीथिंग व्हिच इज़ नॉट फुलफिल्ड, दैट बिकम्स अ मेमोरी, दैट बिकम्स अ सैड मेमोरी, एंड वी ट्राई टू जस्ट अकम्प्लिश, और उसको हम ना तो लेट गो कर पाते हैं और ना ही हम प्रैक्टिस कर पाते हैं कि चलो ठीक है, नहीं हुआ था ना। तो दैट ऑल्सो जस्ट इंस्टिल इन योर माइंड फॉर सो लॉन्ग। और जो लोग भी इस माइंड इस सोच को अपने मन में बहुत भारी, जैसे अपने बहुत अच्छा एग्जाम्पल दिया, कूली जो भारी बोझ उठाता है। एंड अनदर एग्जाम्पल, जैसे कि कोर्ट में इतने सारे पेंडिंग केसेस होते हैं, एंड देन एज एज दैट थिंग इज डन, कोई उसके बारे में सोचता नहीं है कि चलो ये हो गया तो हो गया। जब नहीं होता, दैट्स व्हेन वी स्टार्ट थिंकिंग अबाउट इट। तो हाउ कैन वी प्रैक्टिस कि वो चीज़ अगर नहीं भी होती है तो हम सोच में बैठ के उन चीज़ को, मतलब अपने दिमाग को भारी नहीं करें, किस तरह से हम उसको लेट गो करें। तो इसके बारे में हमें प्रैक्टिस करने की बहुत ज़रूरी है, इसके बारे में हमें बात करने की बहुत ज़रूरी है।
So
दैट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट।
when you wake up in the morning और आप अपनी दिन की शुरुआत ही उन प्रॉब्लम्स के साथ करते हैं जिनके साथ कि ओके ये सारी मेरी प्रॉब्लम्स हैं, मुझे इन प्रॉब्लम्स को सॉल्व करना है, यू आर ऑलरेडी थिंकिंग अबाउट द पास्ट फ्रॉम यस्टरडे। और हर एक वो जो मेमोरी है जो उस जज्बात के साथ जो जुड़ी हुई है, जो हमने उस वक्त वो इमोशन फील किया था जब वो प्रॉब्लम हमारी लाइफ में आई है, तो देन it means कि now our body is constantly living in the past, right? और वो that keeps becoming our present.
राइट। और ऐसा नहीं कि कोई प्रॉब्लम आती है, जैसे मसलन मैं एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल बताऊंगी कि अगर आपको जैसे बहुत सारी महिलाओं के लिए ही होता है कि घर साफ करना है, लेट्स से कि जस्ट एग्जांपल, घर साफ करना है, तो दिमाग में आप सोचते रहो कि घर साफ करना है, घर साफ करना है, घर साफ करना है, एंड फाइनली यू विल डू इट आल्सो आफ्टर अ मंथ और सो, यू विल डू इट आल्सो। और एक हफ्ते लगा के अपने घर साफ भी कर लिया, ना बहुत खुश हो, लेकिन दैट खुशी का जो पीरियड होता है वेरी वेरी टेम्परेरी होता है, बिकॉज अगले हफ्ते फिर घर खराब हो जाता है, देन अगेन दैट थॉट कीप्स coming back in your mind. So these things keep occurring. So you need to practice how you cannot think about it. I mean, do think about it, do work on it, but do not make your mind heavy on that, and live in the past, and not live in the present, because mindfulness itself tells about being in the present and enjoy the present, कि आज जो अभी आपके पास है या जो नहीं भी है कि कोई बात नहीं, लेकिन being mindful is staying in the present and enjoy that moment. That is very very important, जो अक्सर हम लोग भूल चुके हैं अपनी जिंदगी की भागदौड़ में।
So, basically when people say कि why haven't you changed? Why are you so sad? आप क्यों इतने दुखी दिख रहे हो? हर वक्त अफसोस करते रहते हो, दुखी दिख रहे होते हो, sad दिख रहे होते हो, and you say, you know what, this person did this to me, या उसने मेरे साथ ये किया. That means you have become a permanent victim of your life, because you are unconsciously stating that a person या कोई चीज या कोई event ने आपको कंट्रोल कर रहा है, आपकी सोच को कंट्रोल कर रहा है, आपकी feelings को कंट्रोल कर रहा है, and that's where you're creating your reality. And we'll see you after the break.
H1CS, Lucas, Nickini, 104.1 FM, HSC, YE, 700 AM, Radio Caravan, join the Caravan, powered by Discount Power. More information at discountpower.
I think next week से करें, because अभी वो आ रही है, Jen आ रही है.
Oh, you have somebody on this?
Yeah. So, I mean, we can actually. Um,
So you have questions for her ready? Or she's going to go through all that?
Hi, Jen. How are you?
Hi. Good. 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 You guys are speaking my language.
Yeah, you know the re. Oh, someone has posted that they can't hear Kalpana. It's because Kalpana is away from.
They still can hear me?
No, it's on the my live stream.
Oh,
They can't hear you on my live stream because your voice you're too far from
okay.
here. That's why. So, wo, I think the only way to fix that might be if you join the Facebook Live. But I don't know if उसमें voice echo होगी. So let me move this over. Uh, we have 4 minutes. Okay, so I think it should work out. Go ahead, Kalpana. That's not mine, Kalpana.
That's yours, right?
No.
That's not
Is that yours?
This is mine. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so that
So
was
is this
work-
a heart to heart that we're doing?
Yes.
Okay.
So this here is where your voice is going to be going.
Okay.
Uh,
You can hear me okay?
yes.
Good. Because I got my microphone here.
Okay. No, you're fine. And so I'll go ahead. Oh, okay. I'm gonna keep this here so you and I are both in the same microphone. And
But she's going to be live through that, not.
she's not. Yeah,
going with the
she's.
phone.
Yeah, but
Anyways.
let me. Many you should have received a request actually on Facebook, Kalpana, to join here.
So should I go live here or?
No, don't go live. I have sent you a live request to come on, so we are together. Okay, so now you're watching.
I'm watching, but how can I go there?
So there's a button at your bottom. Just wondering if the voice will echo. See, मेरी voice echo करेगी if you join here.
Yeah.
Hmm.
She can't join us on StreamYard?
She can join on StreamYard.
Okay, hold on. Let me.
Yeah, there's a total echo.
Yeah, there's an echo, right?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Take this off.
Yeah, take that off. StreamYard she can join, but
I haven't got the thing here.
but StreamYard she can even connect. Does she need an app, Jen, for StreamYard on
Just
her
the
phone?
link that you sent me. Send her the link you sent me and she can come into the
Let me send you this, Kalpana.
Into
See if,
the
let's see if
back room.
Yeah.
And then you can bring her on. And then we'll be like 3 of us.
Kalpana, I'm sending it to you on Messenger.
I'm going on. Are you ready? We have 10 seconds. वेलकम बैक टू द शो। आप सुन रहे हैं हार्ट टू हार्ट, जो आता है आपके फेवरेट रेडियो स्टेशन रेडियो कैरवान पे। और ये प्रोग्राम आप तक लेकर आती हूँ मैं, द वन एंड ओनली सलोनी आरजे कल्पना, और मेरे साथ होती है मेरी खूबसूरत को होस्ट।
This is Saima Dillon. Let's touch lives together. And today we do have a guest joining us here. Her name is Jan Russman. And Jan has been a guest on my podcast a few times before. And I wanted her to come on. We've been trying to do this for a few weeks, and Jan has been extremely busy. So finally, we have her here. Jan,
Yes.
thank you for being here. And I know that you're so much into empowerment. You have been working and focused on changing your own life. And actually, I think all of us here, we are here because we are all working on changing our
Yes.
own lives, right? And we are, as we change and build ourselves, we have been building and building other people as we build ourselves. So Jan, I've seen that, whenever we start changing in our life, right,
Mhm.
we get so much slack from people who do love us, who are around us, but it's very difficult for them to see us go through that change, and they're so consumed with fear over the fact that we are changing. um,
Mhm.
how do we how do we work around
How do
that?
how do we?
How do I mean, what do you
I know.
do?
I know. Oh, Simon, first, it's great to be back and be connected heart to heart with you. I just love, love, love you and your energy and your mission and your vision. And I'm so happy to be a part of it again. So thank you for having me.
Thank
And I'm
you.
glad we were able to make this work today. Yeah. How do we? It's really, this work is internal. This is the inner work, right? And it's all about coming home to our own truth, that divine place within us, that powerful creator within us, that inner knowing. And it's really always comes back to tapping into, listening to, and following our inner knowing above and beyond all of the chaos and chatter that's coming at us from out here.
A lot of criticism, a lot of
Yes, I was just in conversation with a woman about this earlier today, and she's like, "What do I do, Jen?" And she's asking me, and I'm like, "Girl, you got to go within. You've got to get into like sit still, get still, and connect to your higher self, and your higher self will guide you to the right thing and what you're meant to do." Because she has all of the externals coming at her and telling her, their opinions, and they don't necessarily mesh with what she feels is her purpose and the right thing to do. And now she's confused.
I think most people don't understand that what they think is their solid belief, and what they think that it's etched on stone, it's actually not etched on
Mhm.
stone. Those are just opinions. What
Mhm.
they feel the society should be doing, or what they feel that everyone else around them should be doing, those are all just opinions.
Mhm.
And in order for us to change our lives and to dive deep inside of us,
Yeah.
we have to start changing. And we have to, how do we change? We change when we start listening to others.
Yeah, absolutely. And, stop putting so much of our energy into caring about what other people are going to think. And that's a huge roadblock I see with so many women that I work with is, and including me. It was one of my biggest roadblocks is the fear of judgment and fear of what other people are going to think. And, the moment that we let go of that is the moment that we're free, because that frees us up to come home to ourselves and it's really, Simon, it's about trusting ourselves. And that is a journey. Is it not a journey to learn, relearn, to unlearn all the things in order for us to come home within, to actually trust ourselves and to
Yes.
trust our inner knowing?
60, we were just talking about this, Kalpana and myself. 60 to 70,000 thoughts go through our head on a daily basis. So many thoughts that go through, go that goes through us.
Mhm.
We are this person that we have become between everyone talking around us, right? Parents, friends, family,
Mhm.
everyone's expectations. And we become this byproduct of all these expectations. And then we begin this journey of realization that, you know what? There is no guide, no one who can guide us better than ourselves, and we are actually complete beings. We have been made complete by our creator. We
Yeah.
have a heart, we have a brain, we have conscience, we have, intuition. And as soon as we are
Mhm.
able to block out overthinking, block out, people's thoughts and messages that they are sending us, and their criticism and their derision, as soon as we are able to get that out, we are able to start listening to ourselves, and then we can hear ourselves. And when we can hear ourselves, that's when you can make the best decisions for you, because you're the only one who can make the best decisions for you.
Right. And I love that you shared that because it's true. Like the essence of who and what we are is whole.
So Jen, Kalpana has a question.
So can you hear me? Hi, Jen.
I can, Kalpana. How are you, hon? I haven't talked to you in a while.
Yes, I am doing good. Thank you.
Good.
So tell me, I have a question. You hear me right? You
Yes.
hear me okay? All right. So my question is, the people who are who are not willing to practice this every day and who thinks that it's like a big mountain and I don't know, it's just to cross over. How is possible for them to guide them, to send them the awareness that this is possible if you just practice this? How do you reach out to people? I mean, I know that the very blessed people who are ready to practice this, and then they are the one who don't care about what people are thinking about, what everybody's thinking about them, because we need to internalize all this. So how do you reach out to those people who still think that it's hard to do these things and make it work it out?
Yeah. And it can seem overwhelming, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's easy to forget that when we come so far in our own journey, and then so that's a great question. I'm glad you asked that. Really, the simplest starting point that I can share for anyone is to do what I call, and we talk about this a lot, is to get curious
Okay.
and get curious, because curiosity creates clarity. So if you can begin your own personal, intimate journey with yourself of getting curious
Mm-hmm.
about your beliefs, why you believe them, where you learned them from, the thoughts that you have, the thought patterns, all those things like you talked about, the thoughts that go through our head, our beliefs, our thoughts, the conditioning, the things that we've been told and taught. Start asking questions of yourself and get curious and try to understand that the answers are not up here. All the answers are from the neck down, they're in our body. And so it's really about learning how to listen to our body's response to these questions and how we feel, because that's the energy answering back to us. So if our throat closes up, if we get butterflies in our stomach, if we feel nauseous, if we feel tension in our neck, if we feel tension in our lower back, all of these things are signals from our body answering those questions. So getting curious creates clarity, if that makes sense. It's a really great place to start, is having that conversation with yourself and your body about where you are in terms of, and looking at where you want to go, where you are, where you want to go. Wow, that's a tall mountain. That's a huge mountain to climb. I don't know where to start. It starts with you, and it starts with making that power of decision that you want to go from here to there, and to get curious. Start that through curiosity.
And I
Process the
think
fear.
it's so important to love yourself, because I
Mhm.
think when you have the desire, when you love yourself,
Mhm.
and you say that, I trust you, I love you, I
Mhm.
love each and every inch of myself. Everything that the creator has created is created with a purpose of
Mhm.
being, a purpose of, it's so unfortunate that, our cultures teach us that we should not love ourselves first, that we should put everyone else
Yeah.
before we put ourselves. And that is just such a wrong mindset, because I think everything begins with you and it ends with you.
Absolutely. And self-care and self-love is not selfish.
That's true. And they also have to do, they have to get the notion that nobody's perfect on this earth. We all make mistakes. And we learn one day, when one thing at a time. So there's nothing to feel scared or ashamed of. Just embrace yourself. That's very important, right, Jen? So,
Yeah, it's about meeting yourself where you're at.
mhm.
And an important piece about getting curious when you start to the curiosity process for clarity is about being curious without judgment. So it's
Yeah.
not, if we discover something that, we don't really like, oh, I don't want, like, something we don't like or that doesn't feel good about ourselves, don't judge it. Like, don't judge yourself. Don't be harsh, right? This is about being curious with love and compassion for yourself.
Be kind to yourself. Kindness
Absolutely.
begins with you. Forgiveness
Yes.
begins with you, you know?
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
And,
Absolutely.
and perception, what is right to
Huge.
you might be wrong to someone else. So
Mhm.
it's okay, right?
Yeah.
And always judging others, judgment. So these are some of the most important components of who we are. When you see that you're judging someone for what they wear, when you judge someone for how they present themselves in front of everyone, you're judging. It's not going to do anything to them. Perhaps, yes, you might end up hurting them, but you're going to impact yourself
Yes.
too. When judgment is one of the worst things that you carry with yourself.
It's a very, very low vibrational energy. Yes. So, if you're trying to lift yourself up and raise your vibration and become a manifester, a powerful creator to recreate yourself out of whatever reality you're in, um, operating from those lower vibrational states of being, like judgment and guilt and shame and anger and resentment, it's going to keep you down. It's going to keep you stuck.
Because one thing that most people don't realize, and that is that every ache, pain, every illness, everything that is within us, it's it's an indicator that of some kind of blockage, some kind of feeling that is within us, right?
Yes.
That so anytime you feel ill at ease with yourself or your body is aching, it means you need to focus on that area. Maybe even just give some love to that area. If
Mhm.
it's your back or your wrist or your hand, maybe you look at it and you tell yourself that you love you and I hope
Mhm.
you get well soon. Talk to yourself.
Yeah, and any form of dis-ease like you're talking about, in the body, mind, body, spirit, it's all energy. However you want to slice and dice it, everything is energy. And so when I look back on my own journey, and as you know, I know viewers may not realize, but like I've recreated myself several times out of some really horrible circumstances. And I'm a redefined woman over and over and over again. And one of the biggest turning points in my life was healing from MS after 7 years sick, disabled, and homebound. And so when I was 29 years old and diagnosed, and all of a sudden I got sick, and it seemed like out of left field that my body fell apart. Was it really left field? Was it really random? No. I look back now and I see that was years of trauma in childhood, suppressed emotions, years of self harm through addiction. And my body had been carrying the burden and weight of all of that for so long that at 29, when my body fell apart, it was my body's cry for help. Like you just said, it was a signal. And the signal flares were really bright, to get my attention. Like,
Slowly
Jen,
listen, right?
yes, Jen, something's wrong. And we need to look at this. Yeah.
Well, I will tell you that you're radiating and you look beautiful.
Thank you. I appreciate that because I'm in that phase, as I know of growing my hair out.
Well, you
Every
look
day is a
beautiful.
challenge.
Well,
Well,
you're
I can see
glowing,
from
Jen.
here, from my side, but I'm sure you look beautiful, and
I didn't hear.
I second that thought. But I know it's time to just charge ourselves, like you said. It's just about connecting with that energy. It's not about just holding the smartphone in your hand, which you charge every day, but it's also about charging yourself every day. Update yourself, upgrade yourself, and then detox those thoughts which are actually putting you down. But that's very important for everyone, in fact, because it's kind of a rat race. Everybody into it, and everybody is in the verge of achieving something, accomplishing something, but they forget in that race that they are forgetting their own inner peace, which is within them, which they need to discover and rejuvenate themselves. That's very important.
So,
Yeah,
like, like we have our phones, and our phones need an every few days there's an update,
upgrade. Yeah,
and
iPhone especially
we
just
need,
sense it.
yeah,
We do it for the,
and we
yeah,
need to do updates to the phone so
right.
that they can be functioning at their, at their premium and at their prime capacity. But that's how we are too. People think that you should just stay where you are, you should continue being who you are, you should not change. And anytime they see change, they connect that change to the fear consumes them, and they become fearful that, oh my god, this person is going to change, and then this is going to happen or that. But that change is necessary.
Mhm.
Instead of telling people that don't change, support change. Tell
Mhm.
people that it's okay, go through your journey. You know what,
Mhm.
I love you, I'm going to be right there for you. I hope every decision of yours is the best decision for you. But if there's a decision you make, and the decision is not turns out to be a decision that only teaches you hard lessons, I will be right there to hug you and to hold you and to tell you that I love you. I mean, how difficult is that for people to do? Do that to your children. Forget doing it to
Yeah.
friends. Do it for your children, so your children want to come back to you, so they can love you unconditionally.
Yeah. And I'm laughing inside because today, that's the second time I've heard this analogy of like a phone has its updates and notifications for updates. And the other woman I heard talking about this today was saying, like, wouldn't it be cool if our body was able to give us notifications that it's time for an update in this area of our lives?
But
And
it does.
I'm like, but it does. Like we have a whole inner guidance system. Like, hello.
Yeah,
It's
it's
built in,
brilliant,
baby.
right? The way our
Yeah.
body is made, with the heart and
Yes.
mind and soul and
Yep.
conscience and intuition.
Mhm.
It is, we are complete beings if we only listen
Absolutely.
to ourselves.
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, we have 8 minutes, Jen. So you've been working on empowerment, you've been working on
Mhm.
empowering women.
Yes.
So what would you like to tell women who are listening to you?
What would I like to tell them? The bottom line is that we all hold the innate power to heal within. That's number one. And two, it's really understanding, like we're just talking about, that we host inside of ourselves, we host this beautiful inner guidance system, that everything that we need to heal and be whole and live free is already inside of us. We don't need to seek external validation, anything external. The answers are not external, they're within. And so that's why it's so important to be willing to open ourselves up to the healing journey, because it is a journey of healing, and to be willing to put in the effort and the work, because you're worth it. Like you're worth doing the work to be free. To be free of whatever it is from the past that's still haunting you, that traumas, conditioning, imprints from your past that are still controlling you. If you're stuck in that trigger loop, that trauma loop, whatever it might be that you're facing that is causing you to dim your light in this world. That's what I'm passionate about. I'm so passionate about helping women liberate out of that self suppression that is keeping them dimming their light. Because we're all here, like you said, we're whole, we're divine, and we have a light to shine out into the world. And we have the right to take up space. And so many of us don't. And we shrink down and we stay small. And it's because of everything you're talking about, all the externals and the fears of what people are going to think. And it's really important to understand that a lot of this work is energetics. It's the energetics of emotional, like healing emotional wounding. I'm all about energy. I'm about being a master manifester for our desires, and to really like elevate our voice, elevate our power, and elevate our desires on a higher vibrational frequency so that we can be free and live the life that we're meant to live while we're here.
How do we change our frequency and go from this frequency where we might just be mediocre to go into that highest level of frequency where we can turn into birds and fly?
Well, you can reach out to me. um, but yeah, I mean, it's understanding, like, to be willing to be, if it's not something you're familiar with, be willing to be open. It all starts with being open to learn, right? And to consider and be curious about, well, what is this energy thing? What do you mean by frequencies? What is vibration? What are you talking about, Jen? Like, if you don't really know much about it, it's really understanding, like, opening it up and you can start Googling, you can start going on YouTube and searching. Abraham Hicks is a great option to begin with. I don't know if you listen to Abraham Hicks, but they
I
are
do be listening
amazing.
I think every second day, every
Yes.
day.
So that is a go-to for sure. And especially if you're brand new to the world of energy and vibration and manifestation, that is absolutely the perfect go-to. I'll leave it at that Abraham Hicks is a really awesome, amazing, empowering source of divine information and guidance.
And that's what
And that I think the start is very important also. I think because the baby steps are very hard. We all know that, but being consistent on that path is very important. I think that's something because a lot of people give up in the middle because they think that it's not as easy because they don't stick onto it. But I think the consistency and knowing the baby steps will be harder. So go with that notion that it's not going to be easy, but it's not hard. It's not impossible either. So you need to just go and accomplish one step a day. That's very important as well.
Yeah, I think the most important thing is that self realization, that realization where you feel that, you know what, I'm an imperfect being.
Mhm.
I'm gonna make, I make mistakes all the time, and that it's okay to make those mistakes because everything, it's not, mistakes, it has a negative connotation. But what is mistake? It's an experience. It's an
Mhm.
experience that did
It's an
not give you
opportunity.
the result that you were hoping for, and that's it, right? But it's going to still teach you some lesson.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's an opportunity. And I heard this a long time ago, and it's a beautiful reframe. And I adopted it for myself, and I share it with my clients all the time, that there is no failure, only feedback. And that will remove a lot of the fear of making decisions. If we can understand there is no failure, only feedback. If you can see mistakes, failures, whatever you want to label them, as lessons and opportunities for more expansion, it's a that's the ease and flow when it comes to making decisions and growing ourselves forward and
You try,
understanding.
you flow.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love that, really honoring that it's baby steps and it's one step at a time. And there is a ladder, an emotional ladder to raise our vibration. We don't just go from 0 to 1,000 unless we have a lot of experience with it. But incrementally, we can bring ourselves to a higher level of vibration through different means, whether
So,
it's yeah, go ahead.
and this is, we are in the last minute
Yeah.
of the before we go into break. What the final words that you would like to leave the listeners with?
You're worth it.
Every bit of it.
You're worth it. You're already whole, and it's just a matter of remembering. It's the healing journey is a process of unlearning and a process of remembering the truth of who and what you are, which is in essence your love, and you're whole, and you're not broken.
And
Love
with
that.
I think we're going to. We have only 30 seconds to go before we go on a break. And thank you so much for all the wonderful feedback. And I'm sure our listeners will it will be helpful for them, whoever is listening. And thank you, Jen. We're going to see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. And with that, we want to say that we're going on a break. And before that, I just want to say that Pakistani Society of North Texas invites you to all Cave Mela on Pakistan's Independence Day, which is August 14th, Sunday at Frisco Hotel Convention Center at Embassy Suites in Frisco. And it's a free event and free parking. And we're going to see you after the break.
All right, Jen. Thank
Right.
you for being here, and
Thank
it
you.
was wonderful as always. and you're looking great.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate
You're
it.
like to her also.
Great to see you guys.
Hey Jen, this is Kalpana, and
There you
I know.
are.
Hey there.
Hi.
All right, I'm on the other side. So it was wonderful. All the lovely words that you said. I'm sure it's going to be helpful to the listeners,
Thank
whoever were
you.
connected at this moment.
Thank you.
Right. All right.
Beautiful, you guys. Keep
Thank
smiling.
you.
You're
Thank
so
you.
beautiful.
Thank you. All
You're
right, Jen.
welcome.
Talk to you soon.
You got it. See you later.
ये मैंने रखा है, मुझे नहीं खा लो। You want to have what, let me do it?
So, thank you everyone for being here. Hey, Gabe, thank you for your message. And yes, Kalpana's voice is on the lower side because she's on. Maybe we can work on figuring out how to, where bring her on the live stream so everyone can hear her. All right, guys, thank you for being here. So we are on a break right now, and we've just been talking about how uh, our past needs to become our past, and we shouldn't keep living in it. So we're gonna see you next week. Thank you for being a part of my journey. This is Heart to Heart with Saima.